So what I've been doing today is giving an insight through my presentation into what government is doing in terms of helping to establish the potential of shale gas and oil in the UK in terms of the various activities we've undertaken since the establishment of the Office of Unconventional Gas and Oil at the beginning of last year, but also referring to some of the additional reports which have been produced, including by the industry, on what the supply chain opportunities could be if that potential is realised. So I've talked a little bit about the work that was done by the trade body EEEGR in commissioning EY to do an analysis of the potential supply chain benefits that might accrue if the industry develops in the way that was anticipated in a separate report, the Institute of Directors report in 2013. But a lot of my presentation has actually been about the work of government has been carrying out in terms of regulation and public engagement. We don't yet know what the prospectivity of shale is. We're obviously looking at the potential and hopeful of it. But if the industry develops in the sort of way that it might, in terms of the ID set out in its report, then there would be opportunities for the supply chain, not just in those respective areas, but throughout the UK. So if you take the example of oil and gas offshore, then you find that there's obviously been some centres of excellence and for the supply chain, such as Aberdeen, but in fact a lot of the work has taken place in other parts of the country, and if onshore oil and gas develops in the same sort of way, that's where you do the same sort of pattern as well. So there will be opportunities nationwide in terms of steel, in terms of cement, in terms of new opportunities as well. We've carried out 3 studies, one of the Bowland Shale in the middle of the country, one of the Wheel in the south, and most recently one of the Midland Valley in Scotland. And those all show different figures. In terms of gas, the prospectivity was largest in the Bowland Shale, and there is also oil, prospective oil in the Weald and in Scotland. But until the exploration is carried out, we don't know how much of that can be recovered, what proportion of it can be recovered. And that's the next stage of the industry's development, and we have got a number of companies which are taken forward that exploratory activity. Well, the timescales the industry have set out, they've talked about 20 to 40 exploration wells to prove the potential in the next 2 to 3 years. So that's what we're likely to see over the next couple of years. Companies coming forward with proposals to do exploration wells, to drill and to hydraulically frack when necessary and so on. And then after that, we'll have an idea of the total potential. And then companies will no doubt be looking at the possibility of investing to make that potential, to realise that potential.